So today I'm doing the paint pouring, what I was talking about, and I forgot to get newspaper, so I'm working on my watercolour board. If I get acrylic paint on this, it's fine, I'll just use the other side, but I will put a little bit of kitchen roll down to protect the surface. Now I'm using all apple barrel paints this time. These are the paints that I got from a shop in Florida. I can't remember the name. Was it Target? It might have been Target, I can't remember now. All pastel colours and then one Decor Art white. Now I bought wrong plastic little balls, but I think that they'll do the purpose because my little canvases are only small. These I want to test on this first before I move on to my bigger canvases. I'll just show you this. It is big. So I want to do a couple of tests before I even attempt to use my big canvas, and if it turns out nice, this is going to go up on my bathroom wall, the canvas. But these are just 5x7, so let's get one of these opened up. If I can find my little tool, it's just here. I've been putting this off because I was really scared of the mess, I'll be honest. But I've got as well some pouring medium. So there's my little palette or canvas. It's not a proper canvas, you see it's only a thin thing. I need to open these, and I think if I'm doing the bigger canvas, which might not be in this video, I'm going to have to get some different plastic containers, ones that I can wash out and reuse. I don't want to have to keep buying them and making rubbish, because obviously it's plastic. So I've got my pouring medium here, and then I've got this as well. This just popped up on Amazon when I bought the pouring medium. I thought that was interesting. Silicone oil. Now you're meant to mix this with the pouring medium and the acrylic paint, and make sure you mix it, and it says make sure you mix it so there's not loads of bubbles in it, but it creates like cells in the paint. So I thought that'd be interesting. I think I'll do one with and one without and see what the actual effect is. And I haven't got any spatulas to mix them with, so I'm using old paint brushes, and I'll wash them straight away. I'll dip them in water while I'm doing what I'm doing and then wash them straight away, so they can be reused. So I'm going to do, I need here 2, 4, 6, and I don't know whether I'm just going to do the popping it on method and moving it around, or you can mix all the colours in one container and then pour it out. So I've never got the 4, 5, 6, and then 1 for good measure. So all of them can go over there. The knife can go away, I think. So it says this pouring medium. For acrylic colours, mediums only, start with 95% medium to 5% colour, adapt as needed. Now I'm going to use a little bit more of the acrylic because I've seen people use this alongside with a little bit of water. So I'm going to use a little bit more paint than's recommended. I don't think I'll do the water this time. Let's just see how it goes. So I get my little pots ready. I'll move the palette out the way. I don't fancy getting paint on it straight away. And let's get to these colours. Beautiful colours, these. This bunch here is all pastels apart from this one. I don't think I've got a really light blue. That's probably the closest one I'm going to get. So should I stick to them 4? No, I've pulled the colour right now. This is what I want to do. So I'll add a generous amount of paint to each of these. I forgot to put my phone on silent because it always happens that my phone goes off. So some of these are a little bit thicker. Then we'll have a bit of pink. We've got yellow. And then a lilac. I had to buy another white recently actually because there's only about a quarter left of this. I do use this a lot, especially with those highlights and adding stars to galaxies. So I'll add a little bit of that. I don't want to use loads of it. Now for the pouring medium, has it got a seal on it? Because it should have. And yes, it most certainly has. Let's start pouring this in. I think what I'll do is do 50-50 to start off with, maybe just a little bit more. Ideally I do want to use all of these paints up, so let's get mixing. So I'm going to need 5 old paintbrushes, which is not a problem because I've got 1,000,001 old ones that need using up. And you're basically just mixing this together. Now the pouring fluid is obviously a lot more liquidy than the actual paint, so just make sure that's really well incorporated there. These have looked really good actually if you finish them off, these little palette size, these little small ones, if you finish them off with a bit of resin, you know, to make them shiner. I think I might actually have a little bit of resin. Do you know what would be good? Depending how the effect comes out, doing this on a watercolour palette, a flat watercolour palette, and making like a galaxy scene, but with these paints maybe. So I think I'll pop, because I might need these again. No, I'll put them straight into the water just to be safe, because I know how messy I can be. And then with the purple, I'm really curious as well about these cell things. What's it called again? Silicone oil. It might be a complete disaster, considering I've not done this before, but practice makes perfect, I guess. Then onto the pink. That should be enough. Try and get as much excess off as I can so I'm not wasting any. I need one more brush. And I'm dropping things everywhere, on top of the dog's beds. This is a really sunflower colour. Beautiful, this one. I'm hoping if I'm quick enough I can just wash these containers out without the paint sticking to it, and then just leave them to dry on their own, and then I can just keep reusing them over and over and over. Just giving it a smell test there, it just smells of paint. I just wondered if that the pouring medium smelled any different, and it doesn't. I think that should be alright that now. Right, so now that we've got the colours mixed, I think for drying, I think I might have to leave them on here but prop them up. So if I just use something that can just prop it up, like I just use this to just sit it on top to let it drip down, maybe that might work. I don't know, it's just thinking out loud this. Thinking out loud. So let's get the surface protected. I'm not too worried about this black mat that I've got because it's machine washable. Just pop it in the washing machine and it comes out as good as new. But try and be as neat as I can be with what we're doing. Let's just do it. Start on one side, I guess. Whoa, so that is super duper liquider. And I'll go straight in the middle maybe. And I know that you can use a straw to blow on it. I wasn't sure about that. I don't want to push my luck for the first time. Maybe some blue in the middle of that one. And some white. See, it's going over already. So if we start moving it now, pull it down. I don't know if this is going to be enough to cover the whole thing. Probably not. I'm just worried about wasting paint. Oh, it's dripping already. No! Right, so can I bring it down all the way? So I did see some people, probably should have put gloves on for this, shouldn't I? Like pulling the colour, and they had gloves on, so that would have probably been better. And pulling it down like this. But I want to add a little bit more pink. I said a little bit, not more, not that much. Just run it there. Pour it this way, come on. A little bit of purple. Together in the middle, come on. Now this way. Come on, you can do it. Just a little bit, just a little bit. I want this area to be covered here. And bring it down here. So you can see how much paint is actually going on the tissue there. We'll do a little bit of blue here. Whoopsie daisy. My gosh, when people said that this is messy, they're not lying. So I'm just going to scrape the excess off there and carefully wipe my finger and then place this. I'll place it. I suppose you can try and be as organised as you want with this, but it's just going to do its own thing, isn't it? It's just going to do its own thing. So I'm going to have to go and wash my hands and either find some gloves, which I don't think we've got, or just do this again and wash my hands. So see you in a minute. So it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all actually. So I've got quite a bit of paint left, so I'm going to use all the rest of this paint on two, but I'm going to add some of this silicone gel to it. Just dry these paint brushes off a little bit. And I'm going to be brave. I want to do the big canvas. I've not decided on the colours yet. I don't want to go pastel. I do want to stick to the blues and purples, I think, because that's the colour that I've got going on in my bathroom. Or I've got a pink downstairs toilet, so I could do it maybe pink. I don't think my husband would appreciate that though, and he didn't at the time either. It took a lot of persuasion for me to get a pink toilet. So how many drops? We'll just do like half of the syringe thingy-my-bob. Because I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to give these a good mix again. I do believe, with it being oil. I love stuff like this though. Not necessarily liking the mess, but you know, trying new things and not sticking to the same thing all the time, because if I did that I wouldn't do art. If I just stick to colour pencils or just stick to watercolour paint, I wouldn't do art. I get bored very easily. So you can see it in it, all the bubbles. So I know what it's talking about now, telling you to remove them bubbles. Can you see? I'm actually working with really good lighting today. Can you see them bubbles there? And it's natural lighting. the next one, there's not too many in here just yet, but they are forming, but not as many as that blue. And then on to this beautiful blue colour. It's like a turquoise, isn't it? Like turquoise colour. And then the lavender. So I'll have to carefully move these when I've finished filming and pop them behind me and hope that they don't move too much. I'll have to cover the table with the kitchen roll. We need something to lean on when they're drying, so I'll use these glitter containers because they're just flat on top, one underneath here and one underneath there, and I'll just be able to lift the board up. Hopefully that's my idea anyway. So let's start off with a little bit. Actually, I'll use the empty container and then we'll do some pink, purple or lavender, and then yellow, and then some white maybe. And then if I turn this over like that and then just flip, what's going to happen? I know it's going to fall out before you say I know it's going to happen, but is there going to be a different effect? Oh God. I'm going to have a right fun time listening back to this. I just want to try and get some of that excess out. I'm not going to be able to, am I? So let's try and get this spread all over the place without spilling and wasting too much. Let's move it. Come on, carry on, carry on. You're behaving. You're behaving. Come on, come on. That's it. That's it, that's it. Down a bit. Oh, I like the look of this one. I'm liking this. So carry on a bit further down. Get all the edges covered. And that one's turned out better than I thought actually. So I'm going to have to YouTube myself all the different ways of pouring. So will that lay flat for me? It most certainly will. I won't wash my hands now because we're going straight back in and doing it again. But I will do, whoops, I've got paint absolutely everywhere. We'll go with the blue. We'll go with all the blue. And then the darker blue. And then the white. Maybe like a line. And the purple. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God. I've put too much on. I've put too much on. Help! Help! Yellow. And pink. Let's move it because I'm splattering onto the other one as well. And we need to do this side. Right, so I've got a good idea. I'm going to turn this upside down actually and use that. I've got a good idea of how to do this now, and it's so fun. I understand where people are coming from now. And I'll lay that on there just while I go and wash my hands again. I'm not even going to be able to turn the camera off here. So I protect all of my surface. And these are the colours that I'm going for. I'll fast forward this part because it's going to be the exact same process. I am going to add both the pouring medium and some of the silicone oil to each of the colours. The only thing different is I'm going to try some of this Glamour Dust, which it says it's extra fine. So I don't actually know if it's going to show up all that well. Maybe I'll add more of that just to see. But it's a big canvas what I'm going to do this on, and I'm hoping I don't make too much of a mess. but I'm going for pinks and blues. I think that'll look nice in the downstairs toilet. And if Danny says otherwise, then he's getting ignored. At least it's got a bit of blue in. Excuse you, paint. We'll put the oil in next. Right, so I've got my paint mixed there. I've brought you a little bit higher up and I'm going to have to stand up. My son's got home from school as well, so he's going to watch, aren't you, Lewis?
Oh, sure, yeah.
He says he doesn't like the little ones. This isn't all going to fit on frame, but that's the best I can get. And the camera's doing its usual trick. There we go. Still got paint all over me. We'll start off, I was going to start off with the glitter one, but we'll not. We'll start off with the blue. Maybe try it a different way this time. Just slop it on. And maybe save some of that bit that's left over, like doing splatter at the end. I might not have mixed enough paint here either. We'll see. You don't like messy stuff like this, do you, Lewis?
Oh, I like to keep clean.
And the last one is the pink. And then we've got that glitter. I don't think this is going to be enough, because these containers are super tiny. Might have to mix one or two more colours, which I'll probably do. I'll just do that now. It'll take me a second. I'll mix some more of the blue. And what other colour should we use, Lewis? Either these ones that I've already picked, which one should we add more?
I'm going for a bit more of a red, would be a reddish pink.
The dark pink.
Yeah.
Fruit punch, actually. And then some more of that oil in it.
What's that oil even doing to it?
It makes cells in the paints, so it'll give it a good effect once it's dry. Might even need more of this. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that that's enough, because when you start moving it, it does drip off. That was a bit of a hard piece though. I don't like the look of that. That must have been hard in the bottle. And this pink. Do you think that's going to be enough? Your guess is as good as mine. Right, start moving it around. Could you get me one of the metal straws out of the kitchen, please? Sorry? I'm going to add some more of that light pink. Let's add some of that now. Oh, I want more of that light pink. Before it starts moving too much. Thank you. Just pop it near the paints for me, please. Thanks. can go in there. And you can just blow on it. You know, to move it around like that. We'll do a little bit more of this and then we'll do the blowing on it. So I'll try and get it to the edges as best as I can without it dripping absolutely everywhere. No, 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 no. Right, stop there, stop there. I need to stand back up. I swear. Keep pouring out. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't like doing this, Lewis.
Yes, I would like a heater.
I just want to get them bits on the floor that are already. Thank you. I just need it to drip down now. I'm doing more. More, Lewis, more! A little bit here. This one is definitely the messiest one of the lot. I've got it literally all down my arm. And on the very bottom here.
Do not drop that.
Don't think I'm going to get away. Let's see if there's any left in this one. Right, a little bit there, a little bit there. Right, let's just lay that down a minute. And let me wash my hands. No, I'll need to wash my hands properly. There's going to be acrylic all over the floor, and then I'll use the straw. My fingers look cool though.
Yeah.
I've got some cleaning stuff to do the floor, so when I finish, because I can see pink and purple on the floor. So I think that looks pretty cool. What do you think? I'll use the straw a little bit now. Do you want to go?
No, I'm alright.
You alright?
I don't want the chance of paint getting on me whatsoever.
I'll get it on the straw. I think that looks so cool. I'm going to leave it as that. Now, I'm going to have to move it from here to behind me. I put them tissues down there for me to put it there.
Yeah, well, I need to clean up your hands.
But that was me doing paint pouring for the first time. I'm definitely going to do that again. I'm going to clean these little pots and reuse them. So it's the next day now. I'm having to use my big light because it's quite dull today, but it's dry. I'm planning on varnishing it today, but I absolutely love it. I'm definitely going to do another one. I've noticed that I used way too much oil, but I'm learning. Only a couple of drops next time, but I love how it turned out. If I just bring you in closer, you can see the effect that it's given. It sort of looks like at the bottom here, like crashing waves. I love it. And just for now, I've just put it in my front room. If I just come back, you see how big it is. But I want to get a bigger canvas and actually do a picture for but in the rough colours. So these sort of colours, oranges, blues, that sort of colour I thought would be nice. But yeah, I love it. I don't like the little canvases I did as much, but I'll show you them in a second. But yeah, just one last turn you around. Very pleased with it, very pleased, and it'll look even prettier once it's glossed. So these are the results from the little canvases that I did. And again, I used too much oil, I do know that now. There's like a residue on top, you can see how shiny it is. Because I've not glossed these yet, but I'm not going to waste any gloss on these. It was just sort of practice. Now, I don't mind this one. I don't mind this one at all, actually. I'll just bring you in a little bit closer, but it's that shine. But this one, I had a leftover paint and I just popped it on top. And I actually blew on it, just to see what sort of effect that I could achieve. Now, like I said, I am going to do it again. I'm going to do a really, really big canvas. I probably won't film that. Just do it in my own time, because I'll probably have to possibly even do it on the dining table. I'll cover the dining table in newspaper and all sorts to protect it. But I do hope that you enjoyed this video. It's something different. I thoroughly enjoyed making it. Really enjoyed that big canvas. But until next time, I will see you in my next one. Bye.